Hello, good evening. How are you guys? On my side, pretty good. And I'm happy to be streaming again. I did a bit of a pause because I had a lot of stuff to do in real life and I didn't have the chance to really dedicate time to playing Shift, which is a problem to me. But anyway, now I'm here. So I'm just updating a bit of the social pages where we post information about our streaming so we can have more people join. Okay, I updated Facebook, I updated Twitter, I updated Discord. The only thing I missed to update is the internal calendar. The internal calendar, I think I can do it quickly right now. Today is the 1st of December. Wow, first stream of December. What I would like to work on today is a bit of spell casting. Now, I have to look back a bit to what we did, where I was, because actually it's some time I'm not streaming. I think it's 2 weeks or so. Let me see, let me check. The last time was maybe even 3 weeks. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's 3 weeks actually. 2 weeks enough. So it's some time. I didn't have a lot of time to review. You know what others did, but I've been in touch with the rest of the team through Discord, and lately we worked on few points like the addition of new 3D models, and we did, I think, a good job on importing new areas. And this way did some work on importing the Lang's dungeon, which is the part that is basically below the Lang's temple in the main city, and he's working on readapting the interiors of the Lang's temple itself and all the areas that is below it. There is a kind of a dungeon that goes below the temple where you can find some creatures, some crystals, some other stuff, and it's connected somehow to another part of the city, so you can go in and out of it from different parts of the city. So it's a bit of an underground city, and that is one that we are working on to be imported. Let's say the idea. Hello, Wajat. Hello, Soup. The idea is to let's say have 100% of the existing levels loaded into Unreal Engine. Now, one thing that we may think in the future is to specialize certain servers for each area. The reason I'm saying that is that by default, Unreal Engine is thinking like one instance or an area of the world being managed by a server, another area of the world being managed by another server. So that's the way somehow Unreal Engine is thinking. Now, for us, at the moment, we are trying to put all the areas in the same server instance, and I hope we can keep it this way. But for example, if you think to the Death realm, the one that you reach when you die, maybe that area becomes big enough, and complex enough, and becomes basically a game into the game. That one could be hosted on another server instance. One of the issue we have is that each server instance is taking a lot of let me change the scene meanwhile. Each server instance is using a lot of memory, right? A lot of RAM to actually be executed. So that's what is what is one of my concern. If we start to develop like if we put like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different server instances, it may become pretty complex, pretty resource demanding. Okay, I don't think we'll have a problem with the chat system. I think we can mirror kind of the chat system, and we can have a direct connection between the server. I think it's something that we can do. Now the point is, if every server is taking 10 gigabyte of RAM, now we have 7 servers that will be 70 gigabyte of RAM. So that's the concern I have, because there is anyway a lot of common stuff. Hello Aberdeen, hello Maui, welcome back. Hello Gian, welcome back. It's nice to see you guys here. I'm sorry I've not been very consistent with the streams, but I was pretty busy in real life, and also I will be pretty busy next week as well, and so I will be probably offline for a few days as well, but we are making some progress. So the topic of today is spell casting. So combat, just to summarize, combat, we reached a point that is reasonable. I mean, it's not great. It's not that the combat system is fully working and perfect, but at least we have our NPC, kind of fighting back, chasing us, rotating, rolling, and choosing different operations based on a script. And I think it's at the level that we can consider it reasonable as a first release or a first demo. I mean, it's still not perfect for sure, but I will improve it a bit later. But we can maybe we can just launch it again and see. First thing I want to do, I want to check if there has been any updates. I don't think so, but just to be sure that my commit is the last one. No, there has been another one, but way of idle placeholder. So this one we should, I would say, we should update. So let's update and see what we get and see if we have any. Okay, well, yeah, all the maps are getting restored, and I will delete them again. Just to be sure that we are on the latest version. Okay, all this stuff has been updated, so there is some, yeah, towers in Amdenair, and some stuff in the main Hitler city. Okay, which is nice. Now for us, we just want to use the minimal maps because we don't want to have a lot of loading time when we do tests. So the only map that we are going to use is this one, is the Heidla 804, which is basically the center of the world at this point, right? All the rest we can delete. Right? So why I'm doing this? Because the server loads much quicker and the client loads much quicker, and so in our test we are not wasting time. Hello Hula, how are you? By the way, we are streaming at the same time in Twitch and on YouTube. So I see there are some people on Twitch and some people on YouTube. If you are confused about that, is because sometimes I'm speaking with people that are on the other channel, but I can see both chats. I think on YouTube, sorry, on Twitch. Let me check. There is probably a wrong description, most likely. YouTube. Let me check if I can change it, because actually I think, yeah, it's saying the description is not the right one. It's saying that we are still working on something old, but we are actually working on spellcasting today. So let me see if I can update it. If I go under live, stream information, yeah, it's still saying 150. We're actually 157. And I just updated it now, so if you refresh, you will see it. Okay, good. So let me just show you quickly which is the state that we reached. Okay, so let me start the server and the client, and I will show you basic combat. Now, at the moment, the NPC is not really giving up, until he dies or until I die. Now, in the real scripts, this would be different. Okay, mainly if the NPC is brought, let's say, too far from this original location, he may decide to give up. It should not be an exact location, otherwise obviously players may abuse it, because they can just stay on the edge of this area and continuously hitting and running away, hitting and running away, and seeing the NPC like turn back. So there should be a bit of fuzziness or randomness into that. So like a gray zone between the two. Let me see if I can. So just I'm loading into the game meanwhile. So let's say that our NPC should move into this part, right? And the point is that we don't want the NPC to be going close to the border and then coming back, going close to the border and coming back, and the player abusing this technique, standing maybe, I don't know, this is our player, standing maybe here, and continuously casting spells at the NPC so you cannot reach him. So we have to find a reasonable compromise between, but at the same time we don't want the player to go very far away and the NPC deciding to chase endlessly the player for forever, and it will be brought to places maybe that the NPC is not supposed to be, right? Typical example, a very high-end NPC getting into a low-level player area and then killing everyone. Right? So it should be a lot of fun for a lot of people to bring such high-level monsters into a newbie area. So it has to be kind of sorted out. So, and this is one of the issue I think that we have. Connection timed out. Why? Is our server starting? Yeah, our server is up. Let me just check if there is an issue with this. Where is the client? The client is here. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Okay, it's loading in now. I don't know. Sometimes the first time you load in, it gives you a kind of a timeout. I think I will have to sort it out. Hello, Uncle Tusky. Welcome. So, if we load in, and if we, apart from this freaking motion blur, did we have the settings? I don't remember if we had the settings. Spellbook, quest, group is doing nothing. My inventory, skills. What is the settings window? I think we had it, right? We had a window. I think I made long time ago a window for setting the graphical quality and all of that. But anyway, because I really don't like the motion blur which is going on at the moment. But anyway, if I make myself vulnerable just to show you where we are, and I target this guy and I start to attack this guy, he immediately reacts and he starts to do stuff like he may decide to attack me, or he may decide to roll, or he may decide to do other stuff, right? So that's the saying, like he's rolling or he's attacking me or he's doing other stuff. Now, and he should also chase me. Now, I don't know why I stopped, but saying, I don't know why I stopped there, but anyway, he's chasing me or attacking me or rolling or blocking. We also decide to block in case, so I can, so I can reasonably fight. I mean, again, it's not perfect. We need to improve a bit but I can fight. I can kill him. He can kill me. Like now he's blocking. I decided to block again. He decided to block again. So I decided to attack. So apart from the fact that he has the weapon on the wrong hand, but I decided to roll. So I mean, a fight can be performed, right? Which was what I wanted. I wanted a fight. Now the only problem is that this fight will never finish. At the moment is an endless fight, and some of the animations anyway have to be improved, and because at the moment they are not great. And the rolling in different directions is something that he is already doing right. So, for example, if you are in a corner, so I don't know, if you are like in a closed space like this, it will never roll towards the wall, but he has this detection system. You're saying that is telling him where he can go, and so he's rolling in different directions based on, and then he's chasing me again and such. So I think it's okay. We need to perfect it a bit, but it looks like he's doing something. Okay, maybe he's rolling too much. I don't know. We can make a percentage later on, but I feel it's okay. I feel it's okay. I mean, this is a first version. Okay, so again, I want to bring into Unreal Engine all the core systems, and then when I have all the core systems in, I want to start to improve it. I don't want to spend 1 year perfecting combat and then having nothing else done. So I want to really bring in all the system and crack the most important issues and having kind of a working game. So the thing that I would like to work on today is spellcasting. So I don't remember anything about it, so we will have to go through it again together. Okay, so I don't remember the status of the code. I don't remember what we can do. I have to read it again a bit, but I think this will be interesting for you because it means that I will go through the same checks, you know, that you would do, or nearly the same ones, and we can check it together. So, spell casting. So I think I already have spells ported. This is the first check we need to do. But I think I have, yes, I have spell manager, which is this class, which is managing spells. Now, I don't know if he's managing only the research window, because you see like handle assemble, that is when you are researching a new spell. I have to save spell. Yeah, this is mostly, this is cast the spell. Okay, cast spell though is here. Okay, so in spell manager we also have the casting, and I think allow developers to cast any spells. Okay, developer have the upper end. They can skip any prerequisites. So I think all of this code is working already. Now I don't know, because we had a session on spells. Let me check the session we did on spells. The session we did on spells. Because I think... So let's search our Unreal Mission spells, okay? Oh, by the way, what was the last mission? We can complete the last mission, I think, right? I didn't really specify much. This one were like NPCI. Okay, let's leave it like that. Spell, 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 spell. Do you see a spell? There should be a spell somewhere. Cast spells and spells. Okay, we had two missions. It was the July 2018. So it's quite some time ago. And this was the thingy. So player clicks on cast spell. This was done. The validation is done. Start casting a spell. Player mode spell casting. Place an animation. Ask to play casting effect. This part probably was not done, because I see we had an X. Launch GFX effect of casting. This also was not done. Spells not interrupted. Time triggers. Execute the spell script. Pursue the session. So all of this is done. Okay, I also have another one, which is another mission spells that we did a long time ago. Mission spell manager compiled. Create simple UI with list available spell. Cast a spell server side. Play casting animation. Enable casting duration. Cast spell which does damage. Create UI for spell research. Oh my god. It seems that everything is already done, boys. I was just not remembering, but it seems that all of this is already done. That is so nice. Okay. So we be a very short stream and we just say everything is done. No, maybe not. So let me go back and launch the game again, and we will try to cast a spell and see what happens. Okay. If we can already cast spells, combat spells, I think it's very nice. But I don't know. I think I had only spells on myself, not like attack spells on an enemy. You see, the second time is super quick. Like there's a kind of a caching mechanism. The second time you launch the game is super quick. Okay. So if I select this guy, let me check first if I have any spells in my spell list. Okay, actually this spell window is a bit basic, because okay, this is the research window. At the moment this character has 0 glyphs in his inventory, so he cannot actually research anything. Why we don't have at least one, you know, as an example? We should have at least one as an example, no? Let me check in our plane shift table. So there should be a character spells. No, a character. No. Okay. Player spells. Okay, because NPC they don't have to research spells to cast a spell. So yeah, that's why. So I think I close that. Wait a second. There's too many. There is too many windows open here. I will close a bit the ones that I'm not using, like factions. This one, this one I may need. This one. Okay, so let me do it again. Player spells. Player spells is listing. Yes, some players already have spells. 116, I think, is me, no? 116. I don't know why the UI is so slow. I think it's because plane shift is running in the background. It's using like 100% of the CPU. No, 116 is Cranny Cran. Okay, so I have some spells on Cranny Cran and not on this guy. Okay, we can research it though, just for fun, you know. We can see if the research works. So to research a spell, spell glyphs. So for example, spell ID 1 is item ID 13. 13, 14, 15, they're all spells. So I think we can check these items, give us these items, and so item stats, let me check, 13, 14. Arrow, door, and energy. Okay, arrow, door, and energy. So we are a developer here, meaning that we have access to the item command. So I can do /item, and then I can just say arrow. And in theory, in my inventory, I should get, yes, you see, the arrow glyph. Okay, now I have the arrow glyph. And then I can do energy, and I can do door. And now we have in our inventory, okay, the 3 glyphs. Now, if I go under spell research, spell book, and spell research, you see that now I have the 3 glyphs, so all of this part of the code is working perfectly. I'm very happy about it. Talad, have you add some visual effect on spellcasting? I think we don't. I think we need someone to work on that because we have a lot of spells from the past, but they've never been ported into the new engine. So if you want to work on it, I mean, we need someone that takes all the old ones and bring it in. But I don't remember. Okay, anyway, so arrow is no. I should be able to because I need to purify it first. If it's not purified, I cannot use it. So yeah, the UI is not very intuitive, but basically you have to drop this thing into the purify glyph, and it's starting to purify. Start to purify arrow, start to purify energy, start to purify door, and sooner or later, if the code works well, like in 30 seconds or so, we should get an answer from the server saying that our glyphs are purified. I have no idea how much time it takes, actually. But, you know, you start to purify. You start to purify. Yeah, exactly. Start this purify event. How much is the time? The time. Purify glyph seconds. 60 seconds. So in 1 minute, they should be purified. Okay, you see? 1 minute passed and he's telling me the glyph arrow is now purified, the energy glyph is now purified, blah blah blah. Okay? So considering now those are purified, I think I can put them into the research box. Yes, you're saying? I think it should give you a message like you cannot use this glyph because it's not purified. I think it would be good because otherwise it's a bit confusing. And then you can click on research. And based on my intelligence, based on different stuff, based on million rules, now he's telling me you failed to discover a new spell, right? But I can try again, right? And yes, you have discovered a new spell. So you see, now I have discovered Summon Missile. We need the icon, okay. And then I can go here and research another one. And I found Life Infusion. And then I can research another one. And I have found the Swiftness. Okay, so now we have 3 spells. Now I can try to combine the glyphs and search something else. But it says you know the spell already. I don't know if he's right, but because actually is a combination of okay, anyway, we have 3 spells. So now you see in our spell window, apart from the fact that we are missing all the icons, which we should obviously put in, but we have 3 spells. So we know 3 spells now. We know Summon Missile, Life Infusion, and Swiftness. If I click on each, I can see it on the right side, the description. And so like if I select myself, can I select myself? No, I cannot. That's a good point. If I select this NPC and I want to cast on him Life Infusion, let's see what happens. I click on cast. You start casting the spell Life Infusion. But I don't see any visible effect. If I click on Summon Missile and I cast it, you can cast spells while blah blah blah. Okay, there is something that is wrong here. You can cast spells while, and then there is a message which is not readable. You can't cast. You can cast spells while whatever. This thing is just missing. Is just missing the redirection because I think this one is a string, right? Let me just check with this get mode string if he's returning a char pointer or if he's returning an f string. But I think he's returning an f string. No, he's returning a char pointer. Then what is the problem? Player mode. But anyway, most likely there is an attack spell, and what he's trying to tell me is that since I'm not in combat, I cannot cast it. Which is a bit stupid, but this was the way it was previously. So the way it was that I can only cast spells when I'm in combat. I mean, to me, to go in combat mode is very easy. I just press tab and my character goes in combat mode. The problem is that when I'm in combat mode, I cannot, because here I can attack, I cannot click on the spell itself. What happened? Something happened. My server crashed? No, something happened. Oh, think it's fine. Okay. Can we remove this? Can we remove this check of? Yeah, I think the server crashed. I had this. I timed out. Why I timed out? What happened? I see the server running. Is here. I don't know exactly why I timed out, but it was like there was an error somewhere. Actually, I see an exception here. Is this today? Yeah, it's exactly today. What happened? Something bad happened while I was attacking, and he actually killed. He actually killed the server. NPC behave, run, most hated. We crashed. We crashed on behavior advanced NPC behave. I don't know exactly why. Maybe we cast the spell and it crashed. No, but I don't think we cast the spell. But anyway, we have to decide how to do it because when I'm in combat mode, I cannot actually click on any of the UI. There is a big issue. It is an issue I was not thinking about. Because in the old plane shift we didn't have combat mode, obviously. And so you were you were just attacking an NPC, and then you were like clicking on any places in the UI. While now, when you are in combat mode, you are why the server is not answering? Maybe I launched two different servers. That could be the possibility. Okay, 1 second. Let me try to restart. I don't know why the Epic Game Launcher is starting every time I close the server. Let me try to restart it here. While it restarts, if you are interested to support us, we have a Patreon page. We created patreon.com/planeshift, and if you want, you can contribute to the development of the game or just support us. And at the moment there are 6 people. There are 6 patrons, which is not too many, but already pretty good. I mean, I'm very thankful to the people that want to support us. And you can join with only $3 per month, and you will have access to a number of posts that we do, additional content and video, and other elements that we are posting from time to time. Also, you will have access to the Discord channels and having some icons and status on Discord, and there are like three levels at the moment that you can use. Okay, let me see if meanwhile this thing is connecting. Should be connecting fine, but I'm pretty sure something happened because now it connected. I'm pretty sure something happened because it's like if the server crashed. But so the point is, before we didn't have any. You see the status of the NPC is not saved anyway because the NPC is now back to where it was at the beginning of the game, right? So if I go combat mode, right, the animation of the character is not changing, but it's just because we didn't change it yet. But imagine that the character goes in like a combat stance, right? And I do this just by pressing tab. So, and you see that now I can move and click on everything. But if I press tab, basically the UI goes, I mean my mouse goes away. I cannot click on any windows anymore. I can just move, and my mouse becomes my my point of view. You know, I mean it's moving the camera. It's moving the camera. If I keep combat mode, if I keep the mouse, I mean I could keep the mouse and having combat mode, because I should be able at least to click on the shortcut. Like for example, on the shortcut, I could configure one of these core shortcut to be associated to a key. Like if I press 1, it casts this particular spell, right? Like you can say cast summon missile. By the way, is cast summon missile working like this or no? That's a good question. Command not recognized. I cannot cast by command line. Cast summon missile. Why? Do we have cast as our standard command? I think we do, right? We should have cast as a standard command, because what I'm thinking is that I can associate it to a key and command group assignment. Let me just check this 1 second. Command group assignment. I think we have cast. No, we don't. Oh shit. Okay, we don't have cast. We have spell. Anyone playing plane shift here? Which remember what is the name of the command to cast a spell? It should be cast. Why is not cast? Cannot believe it. I think I need to search the internet for my own game, you know. Plane shift commands. No? Holy shit. Boys. I cannot believe I cannot cast a spell from command line. Are you serious? We cannot? Okay. There is someone that expanded it. Oh, no, sorry, it is another game. Yeah, /cast. /cast, start casting a spell. Yeah, there is /cast. So what's the problem? Why cast is not in our command list? Yeah, it should be /cast. Why is not there? Why is not working? Okay, maybe we can fix this. So commands. So commands. Maybe we can fix this because I think we probably don't have We probably don't have some of the command managers server side which are allowing us to cast a spell, but I think if I search for cast entire solution, I mean, it will take a bit, but I think we'll find it. Yeah, exactly, cast Energiaro. I know, but while using it, it was saying that it was not working. Okay, let me see. We have it. We have it here, but it is another thing. There is the NPC. This is the code that allows the NPC to cast spells. And this is not what we need at the moment. Cast operation. There is also an NPC operation. Cast model messenger, no. Set mode cast spell casting, no. Spellbook, no. Wow, no more occurrences found in specified document. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. There must be another place, unless we are using the same cast operation for NPC and also for characters. Come on. Really? Okay. Okay. I'm a bit surprised, you know. I'm a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised that it's not in any lists. I'm a bit surprised. I mean, to me, it should be inside Spell Manager. Spell Manager cast, right? NPC command. Why always NPC? I want. I want. Is only. Okay. Okay. Spell window. So here we are inside the spellbook window, and we are clicking on the button to cast, and we are then casting it. So we create a new PS spell cast message, selected spell, blah blah blah. So the actual thingy should be here, but new spellcast message. Here it is. Okay, it was /cast directly. This is why I was not finding it. Okay, I found it now. I found it now. Where we are? We are under command users. We are under command users. So I guess all this class or has not been ported or has been disabled. I have this feeling. Command user and the command. Command user. So whenever you see a white background, is the old plane shift code made with Crystal Space and developed in the last I don't know 15-20 years by now. But when you see a black background like this, then is the Unreal Engine code. Okay, so I was checking on the old code trying to understand where it was, and I see that the cast command is actually inside a file called command users. Now, command users. Do I have this in Unreal? I guess I don't. That is located under client. So already the fact that it's under client is probably not here. But let's see. No, in fact, I don't have it. But I remember that I had moved a significant amount of commands. For example, all the ones for admins, you see here, right? These are all the ones for admins. And this one is called in handle admin commit message. So just a second, because I think I have to find the place. Here it is. This is what I was searching for. So there is the function that is called when the player is issuing a command from the chat window. And is actually checking if the command is inside a predefined list, so including user commands, group commands, guild commands, or admin commands. And I remember that I ported this, but for some reason user commands, so this should be inside user commands, but why this one is not handle user command? Check for emotes. This one is inside user manager, but it is something different. User manager is not this class. User manager is server side. User manager is like here, right? Yes. User manager is here, and these are all the commands that we are managing inside user manager. In fact, here is the list. Here is the list. And all of these I think are working. So if I do like /loot or something, let me see, /loot, you can't loot a creature that is alive, right? So it's telling me that I cannot loot that NPC. So these commands are actually working and connected. So all the ones in user manager are there. Now we are missing the ones that are in another class, which is this class, which is called command users, which is client side. I think this client side is a bit annoying actually. Why this is client side? No idea. Well, if I look actually at the commands that are included here, some of them are really related to window placement. So stuff that is really only client side, like /show a specific window, or /window setting the position of a window. Okay, so I understand why these are here. I really don't get why Windows list, study, equip. But for example, equip makes no sense that is here. Equip. Equip is doing. I'm just trying to check if it's only client side, but for sure it's not. I mean, for sure it's also server side. So he's working on the inventory window, is doing something on the widget. There's no documentation on this. It's pretty bad. We don't have comments, so I have to read the code. And then he's calling this window equip Then it's calling window equip, which is which is doing what? Is searching the item to equip, and I don't know, it's doing a bunch of stuff, and then it's sending a server message. Okay, so there are some commands that have been designed the client side. And other commands which have been designed server side. I'm just getting out of church. Go to cut the volume down for a minute. Okay, Neil. Okay, it's no problem. Slot movement contain. So yeah, so why we designed it this way? No idea. But all these commands, we need to port, boys. I mean, we cannot just ignore all these commands. I mean, to me, like brightness, right? Like brightness can stay client side, but a key or body, if it's opening just the body window, I think it's okay. But other stuff like trade, give, storage, I mean, why this should be client side GUI? Because we had the concept that this was actually something triggered by the client UI. So this is like UI commands, UI commands. I think that was the idea behind it. And we have our cast, which is the one that we want. Like away, like clear. I have no idea what clear does. Yes, it's clearing the text and the chat channels. Yeah, also this one, for example, is purely client side, it's purely UI. What should we do? We should split it properly. I would like to split it properly. So everything that is only UI related, like window and everything else, I think can stay client side, and we don't have any need for, any need to go server side. But all the others, I think here we have a kind of a mix. Also target. /target. I think if I use /target, is not recognized because it's not ported. All of this file, the full of this file is not ported. Interesting. Do we want to port all of this? It's pretty big, boys. It's pretty big. But I think we need it. Peak lock. Advisor. Help. Advice. Pet. Pickup. I mean, but like pickup, we have it. It's just that we don't have a command. Take all. Gain. Drop. Even drop. I'm thinking, boys, if we should port all of this. I think I want, yes. I think I want to port all of this. The point is, should I just create a new file? Because this one was, weirdly enough, client side. Is there a list? I mean, is there a reasonable list somewhere? Yeah, I see. Oh my god, so many. There is the list. Some have been removed, you see. Like there was a quest here and then it's been removed. And you know what is my feeling is that maybe some have been moved to other files because there was the idea to unclutter this list. Hmm. I'm thinking if we should split this list between the commands that are server side and the one that are pure client side, and maybe make two classes instead of one. But I think the majority is anyway requires a server side interaction. I mean, the only one that are like not server side are like slash window. I cannot really find any others. Maybe the slash show, which is the one that is showing a window, but everything else is interacting with the server. So in theory, they should be server side. So I think there is a bit of a, is a bit of an inconsistency created in the past by many different people putting their hands into this class. Maybe it was created, with just the client side, and then people started to add commands here just because they didn't know where to add them properly. And at the end, it became a bit of a mess. So in our organization here, we have what do we have? We have user commands, which also is a bit stupid because user command can be anything. Group commands, guild commands, and admin commands. So admin commands I think is fine. So we could keep the admin messages separate. Guild I think also makes sense because I think there is a big set of commands here dedicated to guilds, like new guild, then guild name, guild invite. So these are all the guilds command. There are 1 million. So I think it really makes sense that they stay separate in their guild manager, right? In their guild manager. Group commands also he has his own manager. This one has his own manager. And I think we can keep this in group manager. Now the user commands, I think this is the one that should include also all the others that we just saw. Because user command, I don't understand what is this. User command. Which kind of commands we have here? We have all of this. Admin, assist, attack, queue, bank, body, challenge, die. Is it not the same that we have here? Body. There's a bit of challenge. I think we have a bit of a duplication here. User manager. So let's take challenge for example, which is a special one. Okay, so which is a bit easy to search. Yeah, but it's doing nothing. I mean, it's not in this list. Let's say die. Why these commands are not in the other list? So this means that those commands don't need, because probably they don't have parameters. And since they don't have parameters, we are just passing it through. Yeah, I understand. I understand. So probably this function, if he has specific parameter, is doing some stuff. Otherwise, if he doesn't have any special parameters, I think at the end it's just passing in the command as it is. Right? If I go at the bottom of this, which will be like a million pages away, I don't know how many, but it would be so much down there. Here's here. Yeah, exactly. If it's not matching any of the above, it's just sending a generic user command message. Okay, fine. And this user command message, I think at the end is going to I'm pretty sure it's going to my user manager, I hope. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now it makes more sense to me. I think I understand. I think I understand. The problem is this part. Oh shit. This part is handled as well. I change it to a word array. Okay, fine. I think it's okay then. So this class is that class. Okay, fine. So I ported only a subset. So I think we can keep all the users commands exactly in this list. I mean in this class, so in user manager. I think we should do the parsing. Should we do the parsing client side? Should we do the parsing client side? Is a good question. At the moment, what are we doing? Here we are inside a player controller. I think here we are already server side, because here we are on the player controller server side. Yeah, for sure. And then we are gonna check all these user commands. Okay. The problem is that for all the ones that are client only, it will be a bit stupid to ask the server about it. But I think it's okay. So, for example, if I use loot, we tried it, right? The loot was working. So this piece of the code is working already. The problem is that I ported only a subset. So, but if I go under user, what I'm very confused is that in the old code, then there was a bit, there was a bit on this class, command users, and a bit in this class, user manager. And how were we deciding about the two sets? How were we deciding about the two sets? Good question. Why we split? So slash admin is here, but is also in user manager. Slash admin, for example. Slash advice is not. Slash advice is only in command user and is not in, you see, is not in this list. The question is why? Because it doesn't have additional parameters. Because it does not have additional parameters to parse. Yes, slash advice. Get a chat window for later use. Blah 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 blah. Word count. Yes, checking if we have the right word count, and you know, yeah. So what he's doing is basically doing a pre-check. So he doesn't want to go server side to do the check if he already knows, for example, you're missing parameters. So that's the idea, I think, behind this. He wants to check and prevent to send messages from client to server if there is already a mistake on. Okay, I understand that. So means that, for example, advice I do, but admin I don't do. Okay. But I still have it in this list because I wanted to send it through. Okay. So we need to think if we want to do the same. Now, do we want to do the same? Let me check 1 second the execute command. How does it work? I want to see. The white screen is the old code. So the white screen like this one, and you can see it because it's also from the icon. This one is Microsoft Visual Studio 2010, which is pretty old now, right? Microsoft Visual Studio 2010. So that is the old code, and here we are in Microsoft Visual Studio 2017 with the black one. So you can say to remember it, you can think that the black is the coolest color, and so Unreal Engine is cooler than the old code, and so the black is Unreal Engine. That's probably easier to memorize. So let me just check in our player controller. In our player controller, right? In our player controller. So I have for sure a function for executing a command. I could add just a command user class, which is doing the validation client side for all the parameters. Yeah, why not? I think we can do that. I'm just thinking, but if I search execute command, right? Maybe with a space. Yeah, execute command. Execute console command. No, it's not this one. No, wait. Player controller, right? We have execute command. So someone is calling this. Someone must be calling this. I think it's the chat window. Execute command. It would be the chat window, I guess. I see. Receive command. Request command on PC. It is already server side, huh? Yeah, so we jump server side immediately. Yeah, it's from the chat window. So here we are inside the chat window, and yeah, the code is a bit messy, but we are calling server side to parse and execute the command. Now, the old code was a bit smarter, right? The old code was a bit smarter. So basically, client and server as usual, right? Server. Why so small? Okay, anyway, server and client. So what it was doing was basically validating here. So here was validating the parameters, and it was giving a message if the parameters were wrong. and it was not even going the other side. While in our Unreal at the moment we are doing nothing here. We are just immediately calling the server side to parse and execute the command. We are just going immediately server side, calling and executing the command, which is then, and then here the server side is doing also the parameters validation. And if there is an error, it sends a message, it sends a message, and then it sends a message to the client, and the client displays the message, right? So in case there is a problem of parameters in the old code, we were not going to the server side. Right? In the new code we are, and is obviously less optimized. Now the question is, do we want to do it? Do we want to do it, or we don't care? We don't care of sending like one string, I think basically we don't care. So the performance hit of someone typing wrong commands in a sequence just to like mess up with the server side, I don't think it will happen, but still we can do it like this. And the way he was doing it, he was using this class which is called user commands, no, command user. So I was using this class client side, so it was client / command user cpp, where he was doing this kind of validation, right? And then this one would then call the server only if the check was okay. So only if all the parameters are fine. Oops, I don't know what I pressed. I think I pressed Ctrl S for save. Only if the parameters are fine, then it goes to the server side, which is fine. I mean, we can keep the same structure, but this means that we should here, before calling this, before going server side, we can do a check, for all the parameters. But you know what? I really don't care too much about this. I think we can. I don't want to change this part because it will become very messy. There will be like here in the middle a kind of check for parameters, but it will be only for the ones in that file, and all the others will be server side, which they already are, because I'm pretty sure if I open like the group command and I check here like leave group, right? No, like group remove, no, invite, yeah, invite is a good one. If I go on invite, if for any reason I didn't specify the second parameter, it will give a message, right? Invite, you see, I mean, if player name is empty, or if whatever, we have this kind of error or what, please specify the name to invite. So we are already going server side to do the checks. So I think we should do the same. So my suggestion is that we, after understanding all of that, my suggestion is that we just use this class, which we already have, and we add inside of this now. This is frozen, is a bit annoying. Or we can do it before. So we can say code taken from, let me just go normal window, otherwise it becomes a mess, but yeah, we can say code taken from command user.cpp, so from client slash command user.cpp, and here we will have what we will have, I think we need to have this code, yeah, this handle command, so command user cpp ps user command handle command, right? And I think that here we can have exactly the same code. The only stupid parts are the show and the window, because the show and the window are two commands that are purely client side, so the server doesn't care which window you have opened. So maybe these two we can kind of intercept, before. So these are the only two that I think we could intercept here in between these two things. So the pure client side, I think we could intercept, and they are only those two, by the way. They are only show and window. But for example, the cast command, which is the one that we came from, so to cast a spell, it should absolutely go server side. So I can do. Now the problem is that if I copy all of this into that function, boys, it will become insane. But I think I don't have any other way. I think I have to copy all of this. What is study, by the way? No idea. Slash study. What does it do? It's opening a craft window. Okay, also this one, for example, if it's only opening a window, But a kip, like a kip, we need this to be server side. So maybe we can split it a bit. We can say write item slot name, inventory window. What is this thing? Slash write? No idea. Do you know what it does? But I think we need to, we need to list all the freaking commands. We need to list like write. I don't see it in this list because maybe it was added later on. Utility commands. Bibling is not finding it. Bibling. No, it's not fun. So it's not. What is slash write doing? Anyone remember? I can test it in the old plan shift, but it's basically going here and it's doing something. I can check the code, but it's search for item in bulk, then in a keeper slot. He's searching for the item name, and then what it does, if the item was not found, okay, found item to write on, write book. He's opening a window for writing a book. Okay, I see. For writing a book. I think we need to split all these commands into the one that are only client side, but also this one, for example. This one, you know, he has at least to search through the objects that the player has in his inventory and understand if it's valid object or not. I don't think it should be only client side. And rotate, yeah, rotate is rotating an object on the ground, but this also has to go server side for sure. It's a bit hard to split these commands into the ones that are really meaningful and the ones that are not. I mean, there are client side and what that are only server side, but like body, I think is only opening the body window. Now, if there are no arguments, open the body window. Otherwise, send the data to the server for parsing. There is a mix, you know, it's a mix of a client only and a server side. So I should, if I create, because if I send like this one server side, I will have to then create one specific function for opening a window. Well, we can do one generic function for opening all the windows. Just specifying a window name or something, and then we use it on the client side. Start to be a lot of work, boys. Start to be a lot of work. Like we have a slash ignore. What is this doing? Open the ignore window, provide a name, provide a name to the ignore, rather than removing people. I think it is for ignoring people in the chat. But it's just filtering client side? I think it's just filtering client side. So actually the messages you receive on the client, but then they are removed. Yeah. Wow. Clear. This is only client side. It's not easy to decide how to do it because some are mixed. Some are pure client side. Other are mixed. I don't know if you have an opinion, but if you have an opinion, please let me know on how we should split all of this mess. I mean, in the idea of the old code, all this mess would be here. Would be here. So like for all the ones that are pure client side, we add a value here. like slash window, slash show, slash body, slash whatever. And for the ones that, you see, because we are already managing this, like slash position is just telling you the position in the world. It doesn't have to go server side. So if I do here slash position, I think it's working already, right? If I do slash pause, yes, it's telling me the location in coordinates, and this is not going server side. It's just looking at where I am in the world, and it's just doing it client side. So I can do it 1,000,000 times. I'm not hitting the server in any way. So I think that this, for all the ones that are purely client side, we should do it here. We should do it here, I think. And for all the others, we will just call this function. Putting a lot of work, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also fun somehow. It's also interesting. I mean, it's like resolving a puzzle, you know. So it's, I think it's fun. I mean, it's yeah, it's a lot of work in the sense that I could, you know, go out and do something else. You know, I could, yeah, I could, I don't know, watch a movie and listen to music or do whatever else. But I like it, and at the end, I really enjoy the idea that then the game will be available, you know, to everyone to enjoy. So, but yes, I'm putting a lot of work into this, and I'm learning the engine meanwhile. So that's also another interesting thing that I'm learning Unreal, and that's a value for me because I can then, you know, reuse this knowledge to do other stuff. So yeah, I think that I think what I want to do, I want to take all the commands that are purely client side in this list and put them on, and I think I also want to leave a message here in the code, otherwise I will forget. So I would say for all the commands which are pure client side, we handle them in WinChat and the command, right? We handle them in Blueprint, WinChat handle command function, right? So I can put an example, right? Examples like /FPS, /help, /whatever, all these ones, /exit, /clear. For example, clear was already here, and clear, yeah, clear, for example. This is, you see, clear is one of the one we had in the list, right? Or not? I remember clear. Clear, yes, you see? Now here it was a bit smarter, so it was taking a lot of parameters. Here in our clear is just doing something simple as clear log message, which is just clearing the list. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit simpler, but anyway, the idea is that for all the ones that are purely client side, we handle it there, right? So let's say all the commands which are pure client side are handled in grouping WinChat and a command function. Example blah blah blah. Okay, for all the others, for all other commands, we parse the parameters and execute server side, which is basically here, right? And it is the code. Okay, So now we only have to decide which one are pure. Okay. Which one are pure, and I would already do the work, you know. I think we should already do the work here. So we should already do we should already add, maybe I can add, you know, default uh, what is this? Echo PSP. What is echo PSP? What is PSP? If I do PSP in game, what does it do? PSP hello. I'm printing hello at the top. You see at the top of the screen? It's printing that. So it was just a test. I think it was just a test to test the error messages and the echo. And echo is just I think echo is just printing the same into the chat window. Echo test. Yeah, this was just this. So this part is just pure. Maybe we can even remove them. I think it's not really meaningful to have this anymore. And if it's not in this, so let me just box this and put it as slash echo and slash PSP commands, which are debug commands, okay? And then here is called server side. So this one to me is actually the good part. This is just kind of temporary stuff, okay? So temporary stuff, I think I can leave it down here because it's not very relevant, while this one is the real one, okay? The clear, okay, the clear, we can also box it slash clear. And yes, my suggestion will be for all the others, like, why we have slash PSP here if anyway it goes into default? This one is a mistake, I think. Yes. And screenshot we have to manage. For all the one that we still need to manage, I think we can just add, you know, a route node, a generic route node. Maybe we can put it at the top. No, let's put it here. And this generic route node will go into just a print or just a echo. I think I can just, no, it's just a echo. I think echo is better. So like receive message, like this one, right? But you just take a receive message, and in this receive message we go command not handled yet, okay? And then I can type WinChat BP, WinChat BP. Okay, so for all the ones that we don't manage yet, we will just link them here, right? Unfortunately, this graph I think will become a mess. I tell you, it will really become a mess because there will be so many of these things. Oops. There will be so many of this. There will be so many of these commands, but I think it's fine. So I think we need to go one by one, okay, in this class file, one by one, and we will arrive to our cast as well and understand what we want to do. Okay, show is showing a window. Window is, I think, hiding a window or something, right? I don't know what window is doing, but is Yeah, window name, show hide, border allowed to allow legacy use. Okay, fine. So we have, so I think I want to add here in this switch, right, a new element which will be slash show and slash window, and these two for now we just connect to our not implemented yet. Okay, I don't want to implement it now. We will just say this one is to be implemented, but this is client side and I don't care too much. It's just opening windows, and so this fixes this whole part up to here. And window has a million parameters, by the way. Okay. Should I say also C user command? C command users.cpp. I think I should. I want to mention that as well because it will be required. I mean, otherwise we forget. Next time we look at it, we forget about it. Then the next one is study. Now study is purely opening a window. I think it's a bit stupid to have study actually, because we can just say slash window, you know. Maybe it's simpler for the people. I think we can drop this one. I think we can drop it. I think slash study we can drop it. It's just messing up, you know. Now we have some real ones like a keep and use. Now a keep and use are both needed. And this code I think we need to port. So I think that this part we have to put it into our let me check word array command. So we could also do find word command pointer blah blah blah. So it's searching in this hash file the right function to handle this. Okay, and then the check is done when? The check is done inside of this function, right? So for example, yeah. But if I want to set, let me see if there is one, for example, that has a parameter, like roll. Roll dice for sure has a parameters. And I'm doing the parsing inside of this. I'm doing the parsing inside of this. Yes. Okay. Good. I can do the same. I can do exactly the same. So actually, I don't need to copy. So actually, I don't need to copy the text here. I can just put. So for So let's say refer to. Okay. So for all the other commands, we register up here, right? We add it to command dash. We add to user command dash above. That would be much simpler. You know. So what I can do, instead of touching anything here, I can just say, okay, I agree on slash keep and slash use. Okay, I agree on those two. So I add them here in this list, which by the way, if it was like alphabetically ordered, I think it would be a bit easier. At the moment I think it's not, but so we can do right, I can do a slash keep and I can say handle a keep. And now the only problem I have with a keep is that we are actually already having a lot of code on the blueprints, but I think I can call the blueprints from here. Because a keep also has a visual aspect then, but I think it's all already managed. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So we can have slash a keep and slash use added here. Let's put them in alphabetical order, otherwise I will never find them again. Slash use. Why these ones are like take is not in the same order? I don't like that. Let's keep all of this in alphabetical order, otherwise what was it? It was rename. Okay, rename. And some will be missing, like for example handle use is missing, but I can add them later on, okay, no problem. So I keep and use, we make server side. Dia keep, the same, we make server side. So I take dia keep and I call it dia keep. Then write is opening a book. Now I think we still need to make some checks, so I would move it, this one I would move it server side as well. This one I think is a good idea to move server side, right? Rotate the same. Rotate should be server side. By the way, rotate is already here. Nice. For some reason we ported some of those. Why we ported just some and not all, I have no idea. Like this one area, let me see if the same thingy is different. Why is different? Now I'm getting scared. Now I'm getting very scared. Why slash rotate as one syntax here and a different syntax here? Huh. I see. X, Y, Z. I think this rotate we have it in two places anyway. I think for some reason we had this rotate implemented in two places. But anyway, it's good. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's okay. So now we merge it and it will be only one. So rotate is already here. Rotate is already here. Fine. So no need to add it. Cell. Cell. What is cell doing? Is just opening the window, or is, well, yeah, but it's starting an exchange, you know, with someone, with a merchant. So I think anyway it has to go server side, and I think this one, by the way, we already have, so it would be only a question of calling the proper code that we already have. Yeah. So cell we move server side, we said. Yeah. Cell we move server side, so it would be handle cell. Attack list. What the hell is attack list doing? It's just showing a window. It's just showing a window. It's just showing a window. So, I mean, all the windows show like study. You know, study is showing the crafting window. I don't know really. I mean, I can put it here. I can put study, and I can put attack list. But I mean, just to be sure that we have them here, I think it's okay. Can I rearrange these elements? Yes, I can. That's nice. So also this one I could keep in alphabetical order somehow, right? That would be nice. It's very cool. I can rearrange that. Okay, I will do that one day. But the idea. So I can add. Let's add also study. Okay, let's add also study. Let's add all the commands that we had. It's fine. Attack list. I don't have to, you know. And all these ones like study and attack list at the moment will connect here. We'll connect to the one that is just saying that at the moment. Can we move it maybe? I would like to have it in a place that is not cluttering the. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's a bit weird, but at least we don't have it in the. Cluttering the. So we know that for all of those, we have just a default message saying that it has to be handled later on. Okay. Which I think is fine. Technically should go to the beginning, by the way. And study should go on the rest. Yeah. Okay, so these two we will manage, and it's just opening windows, so we'll stay on the client side. Brightness is another one, is only client side. Now, do we want to have a command for it? I don't know, I don't care too much, but since it was here before, let's keep it. And let's just say that we will manage it one day, okay? One bright day, we will manage brightness. Okay? And brightness goes here. Perfect. Then what else we have? And all of this is all client side. Body. Now body is a bit tricky because he's only opening the window or is doing something else. No. Body is a bit tricky because if he has parameters, he's not just opening the window, but he's doing something more. So I think body we need to put in our code server side. It's here already. Okay, good. Body we manage already. Hopefully the code is the same. Hopefully. /by is not here already, and is anyway starting an exchange with an NPC, with a merchant. And so I absolutely need to do it server side because I need to check, if it's the right distance, if it's not frozen, if the NPC is in good mood that day. So buy will be here. So I need to say handle all the time, just to keep it consistent. Otherwise, okay. Then what we have? We have storage. Storage is also opening a storage request to the server. So we need to put it here. Storage. Is it here already? No. Storage. Okay, this will be endless storage. Okay. And trade. Trade also we don't have. And by the way, don't be scared because most of those will call code that we already have. For example, trading, we already fully implemented it. So it's just a matter of connecting, you know, the /trade command from the command line to the code that we already have. Also give I think we have as well. So give is not in this list, so we need it. Give will be handle give, and is also starting an exchange. Now ignore is interesting. Ignore, I think we can keep it only client side because it's a filter. So this one will be added here, right? And ignore will go here. It will be connected to this dummy message for now. Be connected to dummy message. Cast. So finally we arrived to the one that started this whole thing. So cast, we definitely need it here, and we don't have it because it was no. When we tested it, it was not working, right? So, and this would be handle cast. Maybe we start from this one, okay? So I don't want to do the full thing, but this one needs to be put in. /away is a way to notify the people that you are away from the keyboard, and even if you are in game, you are not available to chat. And I think this one was anyway sending a server command, I'm pretty sure, because obviously other people need to know. So auto reply has been turned off, auto reply has been set. It's on the client side actually, because it's setting yourself as away, and when a command is coming through, we are just answering with the fact that we are away. Maybe it's only for the direct messages. Okay, that's interesting. So it's only client side. So I think we can keep this one only client side. So we add it here in the list. And we connect it here. Okay. Easy. Clear we had it already, right? Yeah, clear we had it already. It has to be improved a bit because actually it's not the best at the moment, but okay, we have it already. It was much more. I think there will be a task that I will give to some of you, which is when the new client will be up, will be just to test all the commands and see if there are differences, or some of the commands is not working properly. Target. Well, target for sure is a server side, 100%. So we need to add a new one here, which is target, and we say handle target. Sorry, did I copy it from where? I copied from the handle target. This one is another way to set the target by my scripts, right? And then we will have to copy all of this. Target context. What the hell is this command? Target context? What is the difference between target and target context? I have no idea. Anyone has an idea of what is this command? I don't think we ever documented this command. I don't think we ever documented this thing. Target context. Any of you know what it does? Because I mean, if I look at the code, is he's searching for a first word, and then is I mean, if there is no other parameter, he's just getting the current target. Or he's setting the target as a context, but I don't know what this means. No idea what that means. Okay, anyway, we can skip it for now. We don't have to break our head now on this, but find entity with name. He's searching an entity, so it's like he's searching an item or a player or an NPC. So I think the difference with this is that this one is a bit more specific, but I have no idea. But anyways, I mean, what I'm sure is there is a server command. That's for sure. So let's put it in, and for now we leave it empty. But we will have to figure out what is it. We will have to figure out what is this thing. Because I have no idea what is it. Then we have, wow, a bunch of stuff. Use, combine, uncombine, construct, dig, fish, harvest, and repair, which actually don't have. By the way, use was already before this. Huh? There is a duplication, right? I remember we checked use. No, was inside craft. Keep or use. So this one will win. So that use will never be read. But anyway. So we have a bunch of commands here, like use, combine, uncombine, construct, dig, fish, harvest, and repair, which are all commands that should be connected to Work Manager. So to the crafting, to the crafting engine. Now the crafting engine, but I think we already have this, because I remember that we have group, guild. No, we don't have. Okay. We don't have. Strange. I remember we had, but maybe we don't have. Okay. We don't have. I was sure we had. So maybe it's in user. Maybe we already have them. Maybe we already have them. So let's see. Combine. Do we have combine in this list? No, we don't have. But for sure we have all the crafting manager here. Work manager. So let me see the old code, what it was doing. It was creating a work command message, and it was sending it to the message cracker. I'm pretty sure that this one is then just calling, I mean, it's just trying to parse it a bit, and then is calling work manager, you see? Work manager and the work command. So in this one, in the new code, I'm pretty sure we have already. I mean, I'm sure 100% we have, because our crafting is working already. So and the work command, and it is. So combine, repair, construct. So these are already use, combine, repair, construct. These are already, you know, handled. These are already handled. What is missing? Use, combine, construct. Now here we have more stuff. We have uncombine, dig, fish, harvest, and repair. Repair is here, but we don't have the others. Why we don't have the others? I mean, how do you uncombine them? I mean, they are there, but they've never been used. Is what you're telling me? Fish, is fish working? Oh my god. So who is managing fish then? If this one is not managing it, and this one is not, well, actually it is in this default case because it's doing handle production. No, not that one. He's doing handle production. Handle production is, this will be hard, boys. This will be hard. Okay, I think that is the trick, right? The trick is that, okay. Based on the resource, it knows if you can fish, dig, or whatever else. Okay, so I think that all those commands are handled already in here. So I don't think I need, apart from calling this function, I don't think I need to do anything else. I just need to call handle work command for all of them. So that's pretty easy. So I need to be sure for all of those, I think I will call the same function. For all of this, apart from use, which is different, because use was handled above in another way, and I think that one is, yeah. Let me see, the slash use, where is it? Window, list, study. If word equal to use and word count is greater than 1. So basically it's going into that use only if the word count is 0. But if the word count is 0, what can you do with just a slash use? You will just send the slash use to so it must have no parameters and it's going to work manager. I don't know, I think I need to test it on the old client what slash use does. You know, you can do it. I have the old client, I can connect, there's no problem. 063, no issue. Slash use without any parameters. There is the old client. I mean, there is the game which is running right now. Okay. Here we are. If I do /use, only items can be targeted for use. Okay, nice. Only items can be targeted. Okay, is in work manager validate target. So is checking if well, so yes, is using is the work manager. So if I use any tool like a table or the anvil or whatever, right? And if I do /use, it will validate. You're not sure what to do with this. Yeah, it's going through the work manager anyway. Yeah, /use is just a standard command to, which I think is similar if I, yeah, is this one. If I right click and click on the use icon. Okay, so yeah, it's only in the case in which there are no parameters. Exactly. It's only in the case there are no parameters. So the important point here is to be sure that we don't lose that, huh? Because our /use, this handle use is handle use. No, wait, why is not here? User manager. Because I added it myself. Okay, we just have to remember inside of this that it has to be split into two cases. When you have parameters, when you don't have parameters. Because when you have parameters, it's doing something. When it's not, it's going to work manager. So that's the only thing we should remember. But I think it's fine. I can remember it. I can remember. For all the others, combine and combine, construct, dig, fish, harvest, and repair, we will call work manager directly. Now you may ask, why then you have 6 commands that are calling the same thing? Well, because I don't know. We have 6 commands calling the same thing because we want to be more user friendly, you know. So I think we can call it handle work, right? And handle work will so this will be uncombine, right? Uncombine, which we call handle work, and then we will have construct, which will also be handle work, and then we will have dig. By the way, dig we could implement, it's pretty easy. Well, easy, I don't know, but it's reasonably easy. Then we have dig, then we have fish. I mean, fish I want to do it completely different in the new engine. I really want to do it in a way that you are interacting, but this will be fish, and this will be harvest. Here. And this will be repair, right? And this will be repair. Okay, so all of these commands now will go to this function and will work. Okay, nice. And all of those are server side. So picklock also is a pure server side function. So we have a pickup, but we need a pick lock. By the way, when we will have all these functions ready, it means that we basically finished the porting, you know, because these are all the commands which are covering. We are covering all of the functionality. Target info. What is the difference between info and target info? I remember info. Yeah. Target info. It's doing nothing. It's opening up the details page. Okay. It must be an NPC or it must be a player, and he opens up the details page. It's like right clicking and clicking on the eye icon is the same. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the most relevant function that we have in the game, but I think we should put it in. So target info will be handle target info. Consider that for most of this function, for now I will just say to be implemented, right? Because I want the client to tell me that I still need to do it, but I will not. I'm not going to implement all of them now. It's just to finish the work, you know, that we have, you know, listed at least all the commands, but for sure I'm not going to implement them all now. Advisor, help, we have it already, is in the blueprint, right? I remember we have it, is here, /help, yes. So /help is already managed. /advice, we don't have it, so we need to add it. /advice, and this will be handle advice, and it's server side for sure. Then we have /pet, which is the one that is allowing you to interact with your pet, which is also pretty cool. This one we will put here. Is definitely server side, is massively server side, and it will be handle pet. How many more there are, boys? There's so many commands. Then there is a /guard. Okay. Do we have it? Yes, we have it already. This one we have. I don't know why, but this one we have. Guard on, guard off. Let me just check if the code is the same. It's a bit different. Why is different, boys? I'm very scared about these ones. On and off. No. Look. There is an handle guard with certain parameters. There is an handle guard with other parameters. There is on off, and is the one that I was looking at the other side, right? I think so. I hope so. I think. The problem is that if I do /guard, how do I filter one or the other? I don't know. I will think about it later on. I think there is a problem there, because this guard should first check the parameters and then split on the two that we just saw, but I don't care about it now. If I try to fix it now, I'll never finish. Pickup, I think we already have. Yes. Stack, take and stack all. Take and stack all, we already have. Nice. Take all, we already have. Nice. Game, find a game board. Game, I don't think we have. Let's see. Game we don't have. Okay, so game we need to add. So this will be game. Handle game. Handle game. Then attack. Well, attack. 0 ready. Nice. Attack 0 ready. Introduce. Introduce is missing. And definitely introduce is a server side. For sure. So handle introduce. Unstick. Unstick was when you were getting stuck into the graphics, but I don't know. Okay, so I have it. Drop. We don't have it, so I need to add it. And this will be drop and will be handle drop. Becoming faster, you say? How the human body and mind works. As you do repetitive work, you become faster. Insane. Emote. Emote we don't have and we want. Yes. Emote. Okay. Handle emote. Nice. How many are missing? 1 million. Okay. Don't panic. Mount. Mount we have already. Nice. Unmount. I hope we also have unmount. Unmount we have already. What is this? Slash question mark. It's just showing the help window. So I always skip it. We have slash help and it will be enough. Or you want to put it? I don't know. We can put it with the same help. I mean, okay. I can put it just for consistency. Since we put all the commands that we had in the past, we also put this one. Okay. This one is going the same place where help is going, which is here. Truk. Oops. Truk. Okay. Done. What's next? Join. Join, what is it? Please specify a channel to join. Chat window, join channel. This is server side as well. It is fully server side. Join. Hey boys, are you still alive or? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. You're still there? So join. Join we put it here and it's also server side we will manage. Leave is to leave a channel. So in the same way we will have a handle leave. We started all of this just because we wanted to have our cast command work, and then I realized that there were so many other commands unmanaged, and so if you are confused of what I'm doing, the reason is that I found one command which was cast that I needed to have because we were working on spell casting, but it was not there, and then I went to check here and I found out that a bunch of other commands were not properly managed, and so I decided to at least add placeholders to these commands so that we have placeholder to say that this command had to be implemented, and we decided where to implement it. So based on the this one may be only client side. Load description. Please find this first name description to load. Let's construct the file name. Yeah, this is only client side. It is only client side. It is a way to load. So let's add it as slash load description, and we put it here. And this one for now we go to default. Yeah, still there, huh? Holding tight. Okay. Load OC description. This one also is client side only. Client side only. It goes here. Oops, I did a mistake. This one should go here. Okay. Mm, Load shortcuts. Also, this one is only to load and save shortcuts client side. I think it's because this was a way to move shortcuts between different clients. So just to save an XML file with a shortcut and you can load it in another client if you're changing your PC or something. Now in the new engine we could do it server side and save it server side, but for now let's just consider that it stays client side. Okay. I mean, it's not the best that it stays client side because it's been annoying to people that have to. That is fine for now. I think it's fine for now. So we loaded the shortcut, the same thing for save shortcuts. Exactly the same. If you always had that question in your mind, which is how much time does it take to make a video game, or how much time does it take to make an MMO? I mean, this is a good example of how much time it takes. A lot. Toggle run. Toggle run, what is it? It's on the client side. Well, this one was to toggle if you want to always run or not. Is it a client side only? That's a very good question. I mean, we can simulate the pressing of a key, or we can just tell the server to always run. I don't know. I don't know. I will consider it server side for now. I have to think about it. I don't know. PQRS toggle. I don't know. I mean, you can implement it both ways. You can implement it both ways. I think the server knows is easier because you don't send. Yeah, I think the server side is better. Okay. Rename. Rename what is doing? Is it renaming an item or is it renaming what? Rename. Is it renaming? Yeah, it's potentially renaming an object. Yeah. Is it renaming an item? Now, do we already have rename? Yes, we already have it. Done. Easy. Ah, there was the last one. Okay, we did this. Oh my god, it was so much. Okay, all of this, believe it or not, have to become functions. And for some of them, but I think it was good, yeah? It was good. It was good to do this. So all of this have to become functions. Now there is 1,000,000 one, so we should, can we do it massively? Unfortunately, no. We have to do it one by one. We have to do it one by one. So we need to go like in user manager. And in user manager, we already have some of those. And I hope they are all the same. No, they're not all the same. You fix me. Remove protected from now. Handle, 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 handle. These are all the handle thingies. They were all properly documented and stuff, so I don't think I have the time. I don't think I have the time to document all of this now. Handle, rotate. But we already have a lot of those, right? Okay, it's basically finishing here. So we will have to add here all the new functions. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff that is going, yeah, under the radar or whatever. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff. We have basically like, I don't remember, like 2 million line of code. I don't even know how many lines of code we had. There was there is a site, right? It's telling you this, right? Plane shift statistics. I don't remember. What is the name of the site? I don't remember it anymore. Open source projects statistics. OpenUp. I think it's OpenUp. Yeah. I think it's this one. Yeah, you see? I already searched plane shift one day. So we have 1.2 million line of code. Last analyzed 16 days ago. Well, it's not that it's changing much, but we have 1.26 million line of code. Activity very low. Thank you, but because now the reason is that we are working on the new engine and it's not saying, it's not saying the new code. But yeah, you can search here for 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 all the comments, all the lines of code. So we most recent contributors, languages, mostly C++. Does it go to the right home page? Yes, it does. Download, does it go to the right download page? No. Well, you can see it here. Here's the old download page. These are all the commit, but as you can see, there are very few commit in 2017. I mean, 16, yes, 17, some commit, 18. I mean, like one commit, but I don't know. It was me fixing something. But the real stuff happened between 2002, 2004, 2006. This is where we really had a lot of code added, and yeah, it doesn't give you a split by developer on the overall line of code. 69 maybe if I click on contributors, commits by top contributor, this one I would like to have all time. I mean the percentages. These are the top contributor, the one that contributed the most. Anyway, who cares? That's history now, right? Hello, Square. So, what I was doing, yeah, here for each of those functions, we need to create the. Maybe we can just leave it here. Yeah, I think we can just leave it here. We'll implement it next. I think it's the easiest. So if I go to user manager, right, and I move maybe this one next to this one. So we need to do, for all the ones that are missing, why is not giving me the missing thing? Still parsing it? Or because I changed the .h? Boy, I understand, but it's parsing, it's slowly parsing. We need to basically have, what happened? I think it changed the, the zoom a bit. So like handle advise, handle advisor, right? So are the two ones that we added. Now I don't think that is here an handle advise. In fact, there is not. So we should. What is the quickest way we can do this? The quickest way we can possibly do this. It's not very quick anyway, so that's the problem. I need to copy this, and by default, do I get some parameters? I think by default I get the command and the client. I think that for each of those, right, I get handle user command. Yeah, I get a command and the client. So who is issuing the command and the command itself? So basically the signature of all my function will be like this. They will be all the same. So what I can do for now, just for simplification, I can add here the function and then return what I call like a dummy function that is saying to be developed. Yeah, I think would be the easiest. I think would be the easiest to have like a dummy to be done, you know. And my dummy to be done will just print out on the client side. You can put it at the bottom. User manager. You can just do something like that for now, because I cannot implement all those functions now, right? So there's no way. We never do it. So we can just have dummy to be done, you know. And here, what I want to do, I want to send a system message. I want to send a system message to my client. So at least I need the client. I need my APS character client as a parameter, and I need the same here. And here I will just send something like this command is recognized but not ported yet. Okay, so we'll send to the client this message, and we will know that is in this class. We can also say C user man. Well, we will search this thing and we will find it. It's okay. So I think what we can do with all our commands for now is just to call this function and just pass in the client, and that's it. Hopefully PSK, hopefully, yeah, and that's it. I think we can just do that for all the ones that we have put a placeholder, and then only for cast spell, which is the one that we came here for, we will actually implement it all, right? And then we will implement it one after the other. I think it's good, so we know that we ported all the commands in user manager, in command user. Now the only problem I have is that I need this thing to properly parse all the missing ones. This guy needs to be a bit quicker to parse. I want to see the error message on all the ones that don't have a function associated. Nice. So considering that this will be changing, this will change as soon as I change the H file, because it will try to recompile. I will take a screenshot, put it here. This thing we don't need. Do we need? No, we don't need. We discussed about this. That's fine. So I can put a screenshot here, and with this in mind, we can go and put them all in. So handle advisor is missing, so we need handle advisor. So basically we need to copy paste this line and change this one to this one for each of our functions. So handle body, handle by, handle cast, handle body. Maybe I can just recompile a number, which is easy, eh? And then we just go. We said handle body by and cast. Handle body, handle body, handle by, handle cast. Then handle work. Oh, we have two handle. Oh yeah, handle work, handle de-equip, handle work. You see that now you don't have that underline anymore because we changed the H file, and so it's trying to parse it again. And they're working with de-equip, then drop emote equip, drop emote, drop emote equip. Oops, I messed up. Control C and Control V. Then we have work we have already. Game give introduce. Game give introduce. Game give. This gives you a sense, you know, how much stuff there was in plane shift. Introduce. I mean, how many functions and how much code we had. Then we have join, leave, pet, join, oops, join, leave, please, okay. And pet, but now here I have to copy a million other times. Join, leave, pet. And we have what? Pick lock, cell, and set descriptions. Pick lock, cell, and the two set descriptions. This one and the out of character one. Okay. Then what we have next, I don't know. And then now we need this thing to recompile, otherwise to think about it. Otherwise, so I save this. And we have to wait. We have to wait that it's parsing this file to see the one that have to be changed. Boys, we are proceeding, huh? Slowly, but we are proceeding. Don't worry, this game will be done. Don't worry, this game will be finished one day. Okay, so we take another screenshot. We copy it here. We crop this. So now we have storage target info. So we have storage target. It's keeping it. We lost it, isn't it? Target info. Then target context, toggle run and trade. Target context, toggle run. Oh my god, it's so late. It's dinner time. And trade. I said trade, right? Trade. It's about 8. Yeah, I have to go dinner. Fuck it. And right, yeah, tonight I'm meeting with someone, so I need to go. I'm not eating by myself today, so fuck it. Right, and right, which is the last one. No, why right and not handle right? Wait. There's a mistake here. Should be handle right. Everything should be handle something. Handle right. Okay, good. So I think I will stop the stream because I have to go. I think I want to continue though with you, so I think I will stream also in the evening. Defensive, this friend is really pushing me to play some stuff with him. Maybe he will. So if you don't see me, it's because I'm playing something with some people. But if you see me, I would like to continue also after dinner, because I really want now that we did this and we added all this dummy command, and at least I would like to start to go back and implement cast, which by the way is the reason why we are here. So only for cast, we will take the real code that is here, that is in the old code here, and we will implement it. Okay, so that we will have, at least for the spells, also the ability to script spells. And still we have the issue to understand how to manage them, because here in the old plan shift you were just clicking on something, then right clicking and say attack, and then you still had access to the full windows. In our Unreal Engine we decided, but I don't know if it's a good decision, we have to discuss it together, that when you go in combat mode, your mouse goes away, and basically when you move, you see I don't see my mouse anymore, and when I move my mouse, I'm just looking around, which is a way more intuitive way to play and to fight. The problem is that you cannot click on stuff. That's the issue. So we need to decide if we want, one or the other. And it is kind of a big decision, because it will affect. I mean, you can, because what is the advantage? Your mouse, your mouse is used when you go in combat mode, is used to actually attack or block. So your keys, I mean, you're using your keys, your buttons to actually perform some action. While before it was not like this. Before the combat was automatic. And I think it's the best way. I don't know, I have to go back to Skyrim and see how he was doing it. How was Skyrim doing it? I mean, I'm sure that you were clicking on stuff you were pressing your mouse buttons to cast. But if you wanted to do another spell, I think you were using the keyboard to change the spell. Yes, this is what you were doing. You were changing the spell, like clicking on 3, 4, and 5, and so then with the left click of your mouse, you were casting that spell. So yeah, you were basically associating the spells before the fight, and then just using your mouse, right? Now the problem is that if you have 1,000,000 spells, but I think it's the same that World of Warcraft does, right? In World of Warcraft, you're not clicking on the UI, right? You're just pressing your keys. You're moving like in combat mode, and then you're pressing your keys to cast spells. Yeah, I think this is the way we should do it. I don't know what is your idea, but this is the way we should do it, I think. Okay. I think that's it, boys. So if you see me after dinner, we can still do a bit of work together. Otherwise, I will see you another day. Okay? See you. Thanks for watching. If you want to support us, go to Patreon. You can go here. You can, for $3 per month. It will make no difference in your life. You can feel happy that you are supporting us. See you, boys, next time.